had always known that my son, Armand, was a practical man, grounded and honest, but I also knew that his choice in a life partner, Rita, came with a family that was anything but simple. When Armand announced his engagement, I was thrilled for him, yet a part of me felt an unease, something I couldn't quite place. Rita's family had always been portrayed as warm and welcoming, people who thrived on appearances. But during the engagement, subtle glances, the whispers between her mother and her brother, and the faint smirk on her father's face made me wary. I decided then that if I were to navigate this family, I would do it strategically. I would act simple, naive even, projecting innocence. I would observe before making any judgments. The day we arrived at their house for the first formal meeting was sunny but tense. Their mansion was beautiful, immaculate in every sense, and smelled faintly of expensive flowers. Rita's mother, Mrs. Shaw, greeted me with a radiant smile, too perfect to be genuine. "Welcome, Auntie. Please make yourself comfortable," she said, ushering me inside. Her voice was syrupy, with a hint of calculation beneath it. I smiled politely, letting my eyes discreetly wander around the grand house. Rita herself was all sweetness and charm. She hugged me tightly. "I'm so happy you're here. I've told my family so much about you, Ma." I smiled, nodding, and silently acknowledged to myself, yes, she seems genuine, but the rest, that's yet to see. The first hour passed in pleasantries, conversations about the weather, Armand's achievements, and how excited everyone was about the wedding. But I noticed the way Mr. Shaw glanced at me occasionally, like he was assessing, weighing, or perhaps calculating something. And there was Rita's brother, Asim, who seemed to hover just a little too close when we were discussing seating arrangements for the wedding. I decided to maintain my act. I laughed at jokes I barely understood, nodded at advice I didn't need, and asked simple questions that allowed them to underestimate me. I wanted to see how far their hidden intentions stretched. I wasn't naive. I could sense subtle power plays, veiled comments, and the occasional jab meant to unsettle me. But for now, I would remain the sweet, naive mother-in-law. By the time we sat down for tea, the air seemed more tense than before. Rita poured tea, her movements delicate and precise, while her mother commented on how helpful I must have been in raising Armaan. "He's such a fine young man," Mrs. Shaw said, her tone layered with something I couldn't quite place. I simply smiled and nodded, letting my words be few, my presence calm. I needed to see what their secret plans truly were before revealing my own hand. As the afternoon passed, I noticed more signs, hushed whispers behind my back, small glances that conveyed messages only they understood. They were plotting something, but what, and for whose benefit? I kept my composure, smiling politely, playing the simple, naive role they seemed to expect from me. Inside, though, I was quietly taking mental notes. Every small gesture, every barely audible whisper, every sly glance, they would not slip past me. Later, Armaan took me aside, his hand warm on my shoulder. "Ma, are you okay? You've been quiet all afternoon," he said with concern. I smiled at him, hiding my anxiety. "I'm fine, Beta, just observing, that's all." He nodded, trusting me, unaware that I had already picked up on the undercurrents flowing beneath the polite conversation. That night, as I lay in my guest room, I replayed the day's events in my mind. Their smiles, their subtle manipulations, their perfectly timed compliments. They were hiding something, and I knew one thing. Acting simple and innocent would give me the advantage. I would let them underestimate me while I quietly uncovered the truth. Tomorrow, I decided I would watch them even more closely. Every interaction, every look, and every casual remark would matter. I wasn't just visiting as Armaan's mother. I was entering a delicate battlefield, and I intended to come out unscathed with the truth laid bare. Little did I know, the first cracks in their facade would begin to show sooner than I expected. The next morning, the household was alive with preparations. Rita's family seemed to glide through their routine with practiced precision. Mrs. Shaw was arranging flowers with an almost ceremonial air. Asim was pacing the hallway, speaking in low tones to the servants, and Mr. Shaw had disappeared into his study, probably to conduct some private business. Their orchestrated normalcy was meant to lull me into a sense of security, but I noticed the small details. Breakfast was a quiet affair. The servants moved silently, and Rita poured juice for everyone, ensuring my glass was always full. I kept my act alive, speaking little, laughing gently at their jokes, nodding in agreement at their statements. Every so often, I let my gaze wander, watching for inconsistencies or hidden intentions. Then came the first real sign of their scheme. Asim, Rita's brother, made a casual comment while stacking the plates. "It's always interesting to see how much someone can hide behind a smile," he said, looking at me with an unreadable expression. I merely smiled, pretending to be oblivious. "Yes, people often surprise us," I replied softly, letting the conversation pass. But my mind was already working, piecing together the puzzle. Why would he say something like that? Was he testing me, trying to provoke a reaction, or was it a warning of the intentions I had yet to see? I had to tread carefully. My simplicity had to appear genuine, otherwise they might alter their plan. During the day, small incidents kept confirming my suspicions. A servant accidentally let slip that Mr. Shaw had spoken to a lawyer about property matters. Another revealed that Asim had been in the study late into the night, whispering over the phone. It wasn't much, but it was enough to see a pattern forming. They were hiding something substantial. Meanwhile, I made sure my actions were subtle. I asked innocent questions about family history, smiled at casual remarks, and praised their hospitality. All the while, I stored every detail in my mind, letting it simmer. They thought they were assessing me, but the truth was that I had already begun mapping their intentions. Rita, blissfully unaware of her family's plotting, chatted happily about wedding plans. "Ma, isn't it exciting? Everything has to be perfect," she exclaimed, holding my hand. I smiled, patting her gently. "It will be, Beta. You're very thoughtful." Her trust in me was pure, untainted by her family's hidden schemes. Protecting her, however, meant first understanding the battlefield. By evening, I had gathered enough subtle clues to understand part of their plan. It revolved around Armaan's inheritance, something I had suspected but never wanted to confirm too soon. They were trying to position themselves favorably, ensuring that when the wedding took place, they had control over resources, influence, and decisions. The small smiles, casual remarks, and strategically placed compliments were all calculated to measure me and find my weaknesses. That night, as I lay in bed again, I reflected on my strategy. I would continue to act simple, innocent, and even a little naive. I would let them underestimate me while I quietly gathered evidence and prepared for the moment to reveal their plans. Patience, I reminded myself, would be my greatest weapon. Little did they know, the woman they assumed was naive was already steps ahead. The following days were filled with subtle tension masked by warm smiles and elaborate hospitality. Rita's family seemed to thrive on appearances, but I had started noticing patterns in their behavior, patterns that revealed more than they intended. One afternoon, while Rita and I were selecting decorations for the wedding, I overheard a conversation between Asim and Mr. Shah. Their voices were low, but the words were sharp. "Once the wedding is done, everything will be in our control," Asim whispered, a sly edge in his tone. "Exactly," Mr. Shah replied. "We just need to make sure your mother-in-law doesn't interfere. She's clever, but she doesn't know everything." I froze mid-step, clutching a vase of flowers. The phrase "doesn't know everything" struck me immediately. My heart pounded, not in fear, but in validation. I had been right all along. They had plans, likely involving control over Armaan's finances and decisions. I calmed myself and returned to the task with a serene smile, letting them believe I had no inkling of their scheme. The key now was patience. Watch, gather evidence, and choose the perfect moment to act. My simple, innocent act was already working. Every gesture of mine seemed to make them relax, as if they had successfully underestimated me. Later that day, I casually asked Rita about her family traditions. "Do you often make decisions together as a family, Beta?" I inquired softly. Rita looked puzzled. "I think so, Ma. Why?" "Just curious," I replied with a smile. "It's nice to see families so involved with each other. You must be proud of your close-knit family." Her innocent response warmed my heart. She had no idea what her family was planning, and I intended to protect her without alarming her. She deserved happiness, and I would ensure it, even if that meant exposing her family's hidden agenda myself. The next morning, I noticed Mr. Shah watching me from his study window. A small notebook in his hand suggested he had been taking notes about me. I smiled internally. Let him take notes. The more they underestimated me, the easier it would be to reveal the truth. Meanwhile, Asim's subtle attempts to manipulate conversations continued. He often made pointed remarks about property, inheritance, and wealth, gauging my reactions. Each time I responded with mild confusion or innocent amusement, allowing them to believe they were in control. By the end of the week, I had compiled a mental map of their plans. They intended to secure major decisions in the household after the wedding, influence Rita's life, and ensure Armaan's inheritance benefited them first. Their moves were clever but not flawless. I had caught inconsistencies, overheard miscommunications, and noticed hidden alliances. That evening, Armaan noticed my quiet demeanor. "Ma, is something bothering you?" he asked, concern evident in his voice. I smiled, touching his arm. "Nothing at all, Beta. I'm just observing and learning about your family. They are very meticulous, aren't they?" Armaan chuckled, completely oblivious to the storm brewing beneath the surface. "Yes, Ma, but they're good people. You'll see." I nodded, keeping my thoughts to myself. They were good at pretending, but appearances could be deceiving. My plan was working. I remained the sweet, naive mother-in-law while quietly gathering proof of their secret intentions. Little did they know, I had already anticipated several of their moves. They might have thought they were playing a game of power, but in reality, the game was mine to control. The wedding preparations reached their peak, and the tension between appearances and hidden motives had become palpable. I continued my act, innocent, cheerful, and slightly naive, but my mind was alert, analyzing every move of Rita's family. It was during the rehearsal dinner that I finally had an opportunity to confirm my suspicions. I had excused myself from the gathering, claiming I wanted to rest, when I overheard a conversation in the study. "Once she's gone to her room tonight, we can finalize the plan," Asim whispered to Mr. Shah. "What about her?" Mr. Shah asked. "She suspects nothing. That's her weakness. She thinks she's clever, but she's still innocent enough to be misled," Asim replied, a tone of smug triumph in his voice. My lips pressed together to hide my smile. They had underestimated me completely. The act of innocence had worked beautifully, and now I had the evidence to confront them. Later that evening, I invited Mr. and Mrs. Shah to my room, offering tea in a calm, composed manner. Their expressions were polite but wary, unsure why I had asked them privately. "I've noticed a few things, and I thought it would be better to discuss them openly," I began, my voice gentle yet firm. "I know about the plans you've been making regarding Armaan and Rita." A stunned silence followed. Mrs. Shah's eyes widened, while Mr. Shah's face darkened. Asim, who had been lingering nearby, froze. You know?" Mr. Shah asked, his voice tight. "I do," I replied simply. "I may appear naive, but I am fully aware of your intentions. Trying to manipulate decisions, influence Rita, and secure control over Armaan's inheritance will not succeed." Mrs. Shah faltered. We didn't mean any harm. We were only trying to ensure Rita's comfort and security." I smiled faintly. "By trying to take control? By plotting behind my back? True comfort and security comes from honesty, not manipulation." Asim stepped forward, attempting to justify his actions. "Ma, it's just how families protect their own. You understand." "No, Asim," I interrupted calmly. "You misunderstand. Protection does not require deception, and you cannot underestimate me." The room fell silent. For the first time, the smug confidence of Rita's family faltered. They realized that the naive mother-in-law they had intended to manipulate was far more perceptive than they could have imagined. "I acted simple around you because I wanted to see your true intentions. And now I hope you understand. Your plans are revealed, and they will not succeed." They avoided my gaze, the weight of exposure pressing down on them. I had maintained the act of innocence perfectly, but now the confrontation made it clear who held the upper hand. The day of the wedding arrived with all its grandeur, yet a subtle tension lingered in the air. Rita's family had no choice but to adjust their behavior now that their plans were exposed. Their carefully laid strategies had crumbled, replaced by cautious politeness. During the ceremony, I stood beside Armaan and Rita, offering support and guidance. I noticed the restrained smiles of Rita's family. They had learned their lesson. The act of simple innocence had not only protected my son and daughter-in-law, but also ensured fairness and transparency. After the celebrations, in the privacy of their mansion, I spoke to Rita. "Beta, always remember, trust your instincts. People may try to manipulate situations, but honesty and patience will always guide you correctly." Rita nodded, tears of relief in her eyes. "Ma, I'm so grateful for you. I didn't know what was happening behind the scenes." "You don't need to know everything, Beta," I replied. "Sometimes just being aware and patient is enough to see the truth emerge." As for Rita's family, the lesson was clear. Their scheming and manipulation could not succeed against patience, observation, and wisdom. Over time, they learned to respect boundaries and approach our family with sincerity. In the weeks that followed, relationships gradually improved. Rita's family, now aware of my awareness and perceptiveness, became more transparent and cooperative. Armaan and Rita thrived, their marriage built on trust, honesty, and mutual respect. Looking back, I realized the importance of subtlety, patience, and intelligence in navigating complex family dynamics. Acting simple and innocent had been more than a strategy, it had been a shield, a way to protect my loved ones and uncover hidden truths. And as I sat in my home, watching my son and daughter-in-law laugh and plan their future, I smiled. The game was never about winning or losing. It was about safeguarding the family, revealing the truth, and ensuring that love, honesty, and respect prevailed above all. In the end, the secret plans were revealed, and the bonds of trust in our family grew stronger than ever. I had acted simple, but the wisdom beneath my innocence had been the true force that guided us through the storm.